So I've had a couple of thoughts about the aeroplane metaphor that I shared in the previous video. And it went like once you're in a plane, you don't realize that you're closing the distance between you and your destination right now, but you are. The only thing you notice is the changes that happen in turbulence or speed or direction. But now I'm thinking that for you to get the benefit of the travel from one location to another, first you need to choose a means of travel, which is essentially commitment. You choose a means of travel and you commit to it because you can change it midway before you get to your destination or something makes the journey stop abruptly. Even though there's very many things that could stop the journey from going to its full course, you get into that plane assuming that it's going to take you to your destination, and you don't think about all the possible things that could happen to stop that from happening. So accidents and things like that, or maybe the plane having some issues and it having to be recalled back to the airport and things like that. You don't think about all those things. I thought I share this also because when we are trying to start something new, we'll always be thinking about the end result a lot. Same as when you want to travel to your destination. So you're where you are, you're thinking about where you want to go. Yes. Now, once you pick a means of travel to go to where you want to go, you stop thinking about how you're going to do this thing. You just get into the plane and forget about everything else for the specific number of hours and for the distance that you want to travel. And you don't think about that anymore. You just sit and go. But when we try to do these new things, we'll always be thinking about changing something about them. So we might be actually sure that it's going to get us there eventually. And sometimes we won't even be that sure, but this metaphor can be helpful in sticking with it. But sticking with it not indefinitely, but just like when you're traveling, you know your destination. So you know what distance, where you want to go at least. You might not know the specific distance, but you know where you're going. And so in life, that could mean something like knowing what you want to attain with this thing that you're trying to get into. You know what you want it to look like when it's done, when it's completed, right? And then you have to now decide how long you're going to be doing it for to test your hypothesis to see if what you suspect to be true is actually true. So the only thing you can get to a point where you can test it fully is you give it time. And so the benefit of time is, in this case, I can compare it to sitting on that plane for 8 hours, right? So it's deciding for how long you are going to do this thing before you move on to the next thing so that you can test if it will actually work for you, because it might work for other people, but it might not work for you. Decide how long you're going to stay committed to this thing. Commit to it for some time. Decide if you're going to do it for the next 6 months or 1 year, and what needs to happen or to be true for you to decide to quit. Knowing what that looks like essentially gives you an idea of what you don't want it to look like. And so, if what you don't want it to look like happens, then it means that it's time for you to move on to the next thing. But when you're in it, that can be you deciding to move on to the next thing because of something other than it not working. It might be you deciding 1 month down the line that you want to try something else because you think it will get you where you're going faster, when in fact you're trying to just avoid the pain of not knowing if you're progressing or if this thing will end up in the success that you seek. And so when you decide all these things, then you'll prevent yourself from shooting yourself in the foot. You'll prevent yourself from sabotaging yourself when things get hard. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. See you on the next one. Bye.